What is Operation Choke Point 2.0? What was Operation Choke Point under the Obama administration? How will that affect us, not just in the recent attack, collective attack towards crypto, but how can that affect us for anything that the government does not like or approve of down the road, as far as shutting us off from our bank accounts and able to exist in the apparent free market economy? We're going to talk about that today in DeFi IoT. Good morning, afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and when you're listening to this. I got the sunshine out today, finest. I'm letting that come through my window. It's on me, I realize, but that's okay. I like the feeling of it. I'm a little too white right now. Anyway, I didn't mean that with any political bias at all, by the way. That was just a comment that I'm actually feeling a little under the weather, should say. Too cloudy. Anyway, Operation Choke Point 2.0. What is it? Where did it begin? Well, during the Obama administration, this was an operation that was collectively brought together by pretty much your banking, policing arms. Okay, and we'll get into that in a minute. As well as using the Department of Justice, etc., to actually eliminate from banks, pressure banks to not do business with anybody that the government deems is unhealthy or unstable for our financial or our national security, right? That's the excuse behind it. And this is the same excuse that I saw in Latin America under tyrannical leaders as well. They hide under this guise of nice guy stuff, right? And for our benefit and our health. Anyway, I want to show you an article. A guy from Coin Bureau stated this last year, that this was coming. This Operation Choke Point 2.0 would rise up under this administration. Well, going forward, you got the same people at the helm as you did when this first started, I believe, back in 2015, 2016, something, no, 2012, something like that. Anyway, going back. So this all starts with Obama and their idea of eliminating, back then they were targeting more so online gambling as well as other industries. Now, obviously now, if you're in the gun industry or if you're in an industry that is more rebellious as far as the conservative platforms go, businesses, you're in blockchain, but you're not something that you're in decentralized blockchain, DeFi, you're going to find it difficult to find banking in the United States of America now. That's all there's to it. And this is a collaborative effort. And I want to show what Operation Choke Point 2.0 is and what that can mean to you and your freedoms, no matter if you approve of cryptocurrencies or disapprove of cryptocurrencies. Remember, blockchain, cryptocurrencies come with blockchain. That's part of the package, right? That's what sustains blockchain, keeps it moving, kind of like a share does and a stock, but yet it is different. I was going to read to you here from Blockworks, an article that came out the other day. And this basically states this, and now the evidence has come out, that there is a collective, collaborative effort, not just the United States of America, but coming from above, from the World Economic Forum, the FATF, etc. United Nations want to curtail greatly or control, and this is what they stated last January in Davos, that they needed to state, that they needed to control or eliminate crypto, because it would be in direct competition with the digital currency rollouts that all these countries want to roll out. And that's a whole other video. We're going to get into more of the BRICS nations and how they've grown and growing in support to compete against the United States, this Western bloc, if you will, European countries, basically NATO, right? NATO countries, the United States, Canada, etc. If FTX was a butterfly flapping its wings in the Amazon jungle, Operation, quote-unquote, Choke Point 2.0 is the torrential rain now pouring down over the U.S. crypto industry. This White House, Biden's White House, the Federal Reserve, the OCC, the FDIC, and the DOJ, alongside influential members of Congress, are all in cahoots, hell-bent on yanking crypto's fiat access to suffocate the industry once and for all. Like the final collapse of Signature Bank, you had the whole Southgate issue, and then you had the Signature Bank final collapse. You took, what you did from them is you took the two major platforms that operate 24/7 and allowed people to go from crypto to fiat currency 24/7, not just 5 days a week, 9 to 5, right? And that platform is in direct competition with the FedNow platform that rolled out during the same time of this banking crisis. Now we're talking about this New York bank, right? And when it comes down to were they solvent or insolvent, and they were solvent. We talked about that in another video. So I want to get into today is this collaborative effort to actually crack down on crypto. Yeah, say that 3 times real fast. That's a theory posted by the longtime supporter and venture capitalist Nick Carter. And this is in a recent interview that I've also listened to Kim Iverson and so forth and others on this issue. Carter's post, Operation Choke Point 2.0, is underway. And crypto's in its crosshairs, quote unquote, right? Outlines a string of bearish headlines which, when added up, seem to indicate a concerted government-backed effort to discourage traditional finance institutions from servicing in the crypto industry. And this is the banking. To eliminate crypto from the banking. Right now, crypto eventually will have its own on-ramp and off-ramp. Okay? And one of those areas right now is you can on-ramp and off-ramp into precious metals. When I'm buying, for example, or I, myself, and others buy precious metals, we just buy directly from crypto to the precious metals, and then you get your precious metals back, and then you can trade your precious metals, right? So there's an on-ramp, off-ramp. Now, where are they going to trade that money out for fiat, etc.? I believe that there's a market out there that will exist. Even precious metals can continue to sell precious metals because other countries will allow those off-ramps. So we still need the banking system for now, the traditional banking system. In time, all that will wash out. I feel sure on that. Fiat on and off ramps are logical first tangibles, which we're talking about just now. A letter to Silvergate, right? Silvergate, I'm sorry, not Southgate. I mentioned Southgate earlier. Silvergate from Senators Roger Marshall, Elizabeth Warren, and John Kennedy. Now, these were all anti-crypto people. Preceded rival signature halving and total value of crypto-related deposits in December. Okay? So they preceded, the bank then halves their crypto holdings and worries that they're going to come down on them, right? Now, this was Silvergate, right? Then in January, a joint statement from the FDIC, the OCC, and the Federal Reserve strongly discouraged banks from supporting crypto, seemed to be targeted to beget metropolitan commercial banks, completely shutting down, well, this targeted metropolitan commercial bank, completely shutting down all crypto-related assets, okay? Even plans for a crypto-native company to control its own fiat destiny have all but unraveled at the hands of the US government as the Fed formally denied crypto bank custodians, formerly Avanti, application to join the Federal Reserve. So denied Avanti their application to join the Federal Reserve. This was a bank that also was very pro-crypto. This was late January. The application has been processing for more than 2 years. Now, they apparently are seeking legal remedies for this because they say they're being unfairly treated and being biased. The government is. And while crypto custodian Anchorage became the first conditionally approved National Trust Bank in 2021, other firms included Paxos and Protégio haven't been given similar green lights. Okay. Carter wrote that labeling crypto-facing banks as high risk has 4 direct effects. Now, this is what happens. This is what the FDIC and the OCC, DOJ, and even the SEC is getting involved in this. They're labeling these crypto-related assets as high risk, and this is how it affects the banks. They pay higher premiums with the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance. You got to pay a higher premium because you're a higher risk, just like insurance companies, right? Lower cap rate with the Fed, which inhibits the ability to overdraw. Okay. So they have less available money they can use. Let's put it that way, especially in times of bank runs. Restrictions on other business activities and the risk of a poor examination score with regulatory supervisors, which would inhibit M&A ability, which is mergers and acquisitions, in other words, from being bought out by another company. That's usually what companies do. They start out for a while, then they get so big that they need someone to be bigger to come in and buy them out to take them the rest of the distance, right? The first Operation Choke Point was a ring-fencing U.S. crypto. Separating it from sorely needed banking rails echoes the DOJ's Operation Choke Point from the last decade, according to Carter. Sometime 2013, that's when it was, the DOJ came out with an eerily familiar goal. By way of red tape, cut off undesirable business sectors from the banking system, ones with a risky reputation for money laundering and fraud, predominantly payday lenders. Now, this goes all the way back to, fraud. What is fraud? Or is there money laundering going on? Look, they haven't corrected money laundering in fiat currencies ever. Money laundering is done in actual tangible fiat currencies, not in crypto. Crypto is too transparent still. I'd like to see it less transparent, actually, but for privacy purposes, right? But crypto, you have to have someplace to pull it out. It's easier to go face to face to hand off $1 than it is to go transfer something on crypto that's recorded on a ledger. Come on, that's recorded information. That's just asinine to even say that there's so much money laundering going on in crypto, because it's against what crypto actually is, being so transparent. And that's one of its negatives, is it's too transparent, right? So there are some out there, I believe, like Monero and others, that are more transparent, but the government wants to eliminate those too, because they say, wow, that's where your fraud's taking place. Well, there could be some there, but a fraud takes place no matter what, even with this government and the banking system that apparently wants to clean up all the fraud. So basically going into this, Operation Choke Point has demonstrated chilling effects on commerce, okay? Most such banks cannot afford the extra supervision that comes with choke point subpoenas, and that's what they do. They just come together and they subpoena these banks, and that's what took place in these bank runs. They got subpoenaed. There was fear that there would be a problem, and this Operation Choke Point 2.0 right now is to eliminate blockchain and crypto from the bank system so that there can be an implementation. There's plenty of evidence to put this together. I'll put this article down below and you can finish reading it for yourself. We've gone kind of long in this video so far. But you can read for yourself that there is a collaborative effort right now to knock out crypto. That defends our free market economy. And if they take crypto out, or in other words, they can pressure banks to say, all right, don't support crypto or blockchain companies. They can also say, don't support companies that do not support our political agenda, no matter where you are on the table, right? And go both sides. So this is something that is bipartisan, that we need to stand up and say, wait a minute, back off. Now, this ended up being tried and being found to be corrupted under the Obama administration, while once Trump came in, and then Trump eliminated it, right? And so then now Biden's re-implementing it again, but unofficially through different branches of the government that are a little more indirect, right? Not so much direct from the government. So basically, to turn this off is this. Is it worth stressing that at this point, there's no tangible evidence of a government conspiracy to leverage risk premiums to cut crypto off from the U.S. banking rails? Well, there's a lot of people can say there's no tangible evidence, but there is. Whether they're all in it together may well be moot. U.S. lawmakers, regulators, and assorted agencies are noticeably staunch in their crypto pessimism as of late. Their individual efforts could very well outweigh the potential sum, say, in some sweeping secret government mission, which I believe, I've seen plenty of evidence to believe that that's part of what's taking place right now. And we know that's where it's going, advancing towards taking away our freedoms away from us. Senator Bill Hagerty said this: I'm hearing examples of companies in the crypto space being debanked by U.S. banks who are caving to political pressures from the left. If Operation Choke Point has taught us anything, it's that under no circumstance should banks be used as partisan tools to kill illegal business. Make no mistake, this Operation Choke Point 2.0 is an extreme overreach of the banking regulators, and they should expect to hear from Congress soon on this. Well, let's see what happens if we have enough favorable congressmen in there that want to defend our free market and our free economies. And that's what crypto does for us. Guys, please make sure your subscription's up to date. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit. If you get a chance when you go to voting blocks, we need to vote for people that are pro-blockchain. That's the future. We eliminate blockchain, all we're going to do is suffer ourselves. These BRICS nations are coming together more and more every day. They're bringing in, now you're going to have Nicaragua, Costa Rica, you're going to have Ecuador, Argentina. They're joining the BRICS nations. You have all 14 OPEC nations already signed on or committed to join BRICS nations. It's going to be a whole new trading bloc. And some of them were anti-crypto, but now they're becoming more positive in crypto. And some of those will offer the opportunities for crypto in technology development to exist. If the U.S. pushes this out, we're going to fall behind and we're going to be left behind. That's why it's very important that we learn what blockchain is, decentralized blockchain especially, and defend that. DeFi IoT, give us a thumbs up, please. We'll see you in the next video.